Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Ended Up in Vegas podcast. A few weeks ago, we had a podcast episode for International Women's Day that mentioned a statistic of female homeowners taking up 17% of the home buying share versus 9% of single men. We posted the statistic as a reel on Instagram, and it went viral. There have been more than 3,000 comments on this statistic, many of which were from men who said that the statistic was due to divorce or women paying their mortgages by having OnlyFans. So we have done our best to field comments that have a lot of fallacies and myths and misogyny. But we thought that it was important that instead of highlighting these comments, that we would actually highlight the comments of women and once again, celebrate them. So here are some of the comments from women that we wanted to share with you from this reel. I'm here to watch all the triggered men lose it in the comments, and I am not disappointed. Since these men like to keep it real, then let's keep it real. The only reason they're pissed is because they know the only value they can bring is whatever meager paycheck they can earn with whatever lacking skills they have. There is no other value they can provide, and when women out-earn them and have more, that means they cannot compete in the relationship market. So instead of actually being introspective about their shortcoming, they default to women's bad, I is king.
Oh, gosh. I'm a single woman homeowner. I bought my house at 29 years old, never been married, no kids, didn't inherit money or property. No one helped me pay for it. I don't know why that's so hard for men to believe. This is great, right? And wasn't there somebody in the comments who was like, doesn't your boss sign your check? You know what I mean? Like, so not only we don't get credit for the job that we do, there's a man that signs the paycheck, so, or gave us the job or paved the roads for us to get there. Like, come on, like, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real condescending one was, how about the men who built that home?
Yeah.
First of all, I can't tell you how many renovation projects that I've been on and new constructions sites that have women working on the crew in drywall, in demo, in all sorts of things.
Yeah. Is it predominantly men in the construction and home building industry? Absolutely. I come from that industry. I can attest to that. But that doesn't discredit the effort it takes to, go to be financially responsible, to make the good decisions to go out and buy a home. And it doesn't, women buying homes for themselves doesn't discredit all the wonderful things that men do for society. We're interdependent, but the fact that they want to take credit for that while discrediting it is just mind-boggling.
While discrediting and also completely avoiding the subject that there are so many things on the back end that are done to actually sell a home, like land acquisitions and contracts and all the things that smart women sitting in offices are doing. And he's like, no, they're not building them. That's all on men.
How many male escrow officers do you know?
Yeah.
Very few.
Right.
I would say that the real estate profession in today's day and age is just as many women as it is men. Like, there's so many, like you said, there's so many other roles that are involved. To give all credit to one or the other is just ignorant. As a woman that does not have OnlyFans, and as a woman who has bought her own home before OnlyFans was even a thing, I just debunked your claim that 100% of women have OnlyFans.
So there is one man who is a standout in this reel, and his name is Jeff the Sigma. Shout out to Jeff. Everyone needs to heal. Yes. Jeff is like the mediator of all these crazy ass men, and he's like, heal, brother.
Yeah. He is the voice of reason for the men's.
For the men's.
He actually gets the title of capital M-A-N. He's not the men's.
That's correct. He says, it's interesting. Y'all cannot even fathom that many women are just more focused and career driven when all things are equal. So you rationalize OnlyFans as the only way this is possible, helping you deny the reality. Insecurity is a very real feeling, and y'all should process that emotion without having to create an excuse to make yourselves feel better.
So good.
Boom. And he's so like even keel. He's like, measurable by what standard? And who's the one choosing to pay them less? So with all that going against them, they're still buying homes? Impressive. I'm married, but thanks for your interest in my sex life, though. Us men have to look out for each other. That's how he handles the demeaning sexual remarks, like he's less than a man for being on a woman's side.
Yeah, did they call him a simp or something?
Yeah.
I just think and I think he's really probably the voice of more men than what we've seen in the comments.
Of course.
But it's just so interesting that he hasn't let all of the negativity and condescension get to him. He's just continued to stay above it and not gotten to their level.
The male fragility. This is a good one. I think a lot of men are insecure about their role and cannot accept that women can provide for themselves in this economy. I hope that men in future generations are able to live more well-rounded lives and don't see their value as strictly a dollar amount. That is to say, the best men I know are fiercely loving, kind, respectful, responsible, with hobbies that include but are not limited to video games, and are always trying to better themselves somehow. Being a provider is only a slice of the pie that makes a man a man. Without that quality, who are you? The same can be said for women who step away from the mother role. Women have the luxury in today's world to explore all facets of human life. It is a luxury women fought for. I hope that men are also able to break away from their limitations and find a balance that is both meaningful and fulfilling. I bought my house at 24 using the money I saved at my first professional job. It's my greatest accomplishment. I am so proud. As you should be.
Yes. What I'm surprised, the comment that we haven't gotten is the single men asking where to find these single women.
Yeah.
Because geographically, where there are more female single homeowners, you'd think the men in the comments would be like, hey, tell me where to go, right?
They're not that smart, though.
No. Not these commenters.
Not these smart. The cost of living is way higher for men. We have to pay for everything. We don't get free drinks. Go fuck yourself.
Let me just tell you, free drinks are not a life necessity. Well,
but also every one of those guys who commented something super weak sauce like that, I said, sounds like there are better women out there than the ones you've dated.
Yeah. Right over his head, too.
I like this one. Okay, gonna step in here. I'm a 48-year-old single woman with a very rewarding career. I own my own home, mortgage-free, and a vacation property, also mortgage-free. There was not a man in sight contributing money to either one of these properties. Why is it that men are so triggered by financially stable and responsible women? I was just having this convo with my partner. We are not married or live together last night. Men need to bring more to relationships in our present age. Women do not need you. If you want a relationship, you need to bring more to the table. We have options. If it isn't you, step aside and let her see the man behind you who is willing to respect her, support her, and encourage her to do her best.
I love that comment. That was one of my favorite comments because it's so true. We're not living in so many of the comments on this. It's like that they're stuck in the 50s or they're stuck in a time when the majority of households are two working individuals, whether it's man and a woman or husband and wife or whatever. Most households involve, you have to with the economy. I mean, for most situations, it takes two incomes to sustain a household. So, and it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
They need to get out of the dark ages, boys.
Yeah. I'm a single mom of two, no child support or alimony, no inheritance or family help. Bought my own home with 10% down. Also, no OnlyFans or sugar daddies for the men trying to discredit those of us women that work hard for our families. Single, pole dancer, rock climber, yogi, run a business, own a home. What can I do? I'm amazing and I'm proud of what I've accomplished and I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
It's just a hard concept for them to understand.
Yeah. I still go back to that comment where it's like, it's not even a need. You know, yes, there's certain needs that we need from a partner, but it's a different kind of level of provider and contributor to the relationship. I actually typed a whole response to him and I was like, you know what? He's not worth the time nor the energy.
No, that's what I was like, delete. But I was going through that. I was like, how about all the money that we spend on tampons that you never have to pay for? Or all the expensive shit that you have to have as a woman, like a bra.
Yes.
Or, makeup.
I literally had a whole list of all the things that women have to buy that men don't have to buy. And I'm not even talking about, hair, nails, makeup, pedicures, like all the things that we have to do to take care of ourselves. Those are optional, right? But there are things that women have to do that by society standards are expected. So a bra is strongly encouraged, right? And I would say that most people find it inappropriate if you don't wear one. So there's so many things like to be more expensive to be a man. Okay, go ahead.
Just signed for my first investment property yesterday at the age of 27. Never married, no kids, work an honest living. It's possible.
12% of the women gain their THERE homes in divorce. You can't differentiate between there, and there.
It's that emoji that's vomiting.
You don't have a right to throw stats out. Nope. Pulled out of your bungholio.
Proud and grateful of my home. My ultimate goal is to buy many more properties to rent out. As you should, Desiree.
I'm single and bought my home at 29, 33 now. I worked for it and saved up for it like an adult. No divorce win or handout. All the men on here are salty. It's okay to acknowledge a woman's win.
It's okay to acknowledge a man's win, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the thing with this comment. I was just telling somebody about this earlier today. Like, there was no shade to either side. And it was just interesting how many people just came to the comments with so much bias and their own personal, grievances, as opposed to just acknowledging that this is great. Both sides are buying homes. Like, one has more than the other. There's so much more to it. And you and I don't know if we want to cover it at some point, but there was actually another article that I read, and I don't know if it was from NAR or somewhere else, but that while women own more, or single women own more homes than single men tend to do better in negotiating. They tend to, for whatever reason, do better when they buy and sell. And so there are areas where single men are doing better, I guess you'd call it, or different. They have, they're stronger at negotiating. So there are areas where men do better than women. And it's not a discredit to either one. It's just differences.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's where it was interesting when we were being called purposefully deceptive or divisive, mm-hmm. like that we meant to do that we meant to make men mad.
Yeah.
We meant to do that.
Yeah.
Like honestly, these are the people who burn the witches. Like we didn't have any desire or intention.
No.
Or any, you don't have a crystal ball. Like, we didn't know that some random reel was going to pop off like that.
We thought this was something really interesting, and we felt like it really related to the month that we were in and female empowerment, and it was a really great statistic. We didn't anticipate that a little clip would fire people up so much.
Yeah.
But the fact that those segment of people were offended, I'm all right with that. Yeah, I can live with that.
But that's what is this? Some sort of feminazi podcast? Who cares if you're a single woman who owns a house? A lot of people do.
Mm. This was, oh my gosh. So men are smarter. Buying a home to live in is one of the worst, WORST, all in caps, investments you can make, especially if you're buying a home to live alone. What?
Don't you need a place to live, or are you going to rent somebody else's place so that you can... I get it if you're making more. If you're cash flowing your place and your rent is substantially less.
I guess if you're going with like the Kiyosaki advice that, a home that you live in is not an investment, it's a liability. Because yes, the home that you live in is not, you're not leveraging it and making money off of the income you're paying. It's a liability. But that doesn't negate the benefits of owning your home, the tax write-offs, the future appreciation, and how much the evidence that there is that home ownership generates wealth. I mean, I was reading this and I'm like, I have almost doubled the value of my home since I bought it 5 years ago. You mean to tell me that's a bad investment and I would have been better off just dumping rent into a black hole over the last 5 years? Like, kiss off,
You're so much nicer than me, Meghan.
I was like, tell me you own a home without telling me you don't own a home. That was my comment to him, because I was like, anybody who owns a home knows that, yes, there are some situations other than the years preceding the Great Recession, home ownership is known to be one of the best creators of generational wealth. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't start with just owning your own home. You have to take that and turn that into wealth in other ways. Yeah. You're nicer in the comments, though, than I am.
So privately commenting, go fuck yourself is okay, but I can be mediated in the comments.
You're much nicer in the comments, though, than I am.
All right. I'll take it. I like it when you say that, because I really truly believe you're the nicer one.
Maybe not in your head, but but when I read your comments and you're like so thoughtful, and I'm like, I was just like, kiss off. Like,
That's what I really thought. Now is go fuck yourself is what I really thought.
I typed with my lizard brain and you were like, oh, I'm going to be very nice and respectful and use their first name. And I'm like,
thanks for your comment. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you.
Yeah, we're good. We're done. That's it. Okay. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. I'll be to say adieu. Adieu. Adieu.
to you and you and you.